I spent 100 days in Primal Chaos, currently Ark Survival Ascended's hardest mod. At no point in this playthrough did I ever feel safe, and you're about to find out why. This mod took vanilla dinos and made them stronger and scarier than you could ever imagine. Oh my god, that thing is... what? And even made some of them shoot exploding fireballs. Please enjoy my pain and suffering as I increase the difficulty and max dino level to 600, making this 4 times as difficult as it should have been. And without further ado, welcome to my 100 days in Primal Chaos. Day 1, I woke up on a familiar beach of the island and started doing what I do best, picking fights with trees and unlocking the new Primal Spear, which is a reusable spear that deals torpor damage. I continued on with gathering the necessary resources to craft a stone pick, which would allow me to get flint for a hatchet soon enough. After crafting my pick, I checked out some of the nearby wildlife just to get a lay of the land, and sure enough, the first thing I came across was a... You best back up! What? I didn't even hit you! Alright, great, and there's a gigantic dodo up the beach. I ignored getting tames for the moment because I wasn't equipped for it yet, and I just began gathering more resources to slowly progress. I then hopped on a rock to check out some of the new craftables when I got jump scared by a terrifying alpha dodo. This mod is going to kick my ass. I'm already calling it. Oh my god, you're... No. I was sprinting for my life most of day 1, and to close things off, I grabbed a beta egg and booked it for the pond when I was met by a beta piranha. This is a very hard day 1. It's a very hard day 1. Let me in the water. Oh my god, the piranhas are even cracked. What the hell? There's no safe place on this map, and I'm beginning to realize this. Day 2, I took a different approach to things. I started gathering everything to craft a primal spear, which was pretty easy other than the 50 narco berries, which my hand still hurt from, by the way. I straight gathered berries for 10 minutes until the spear was craftable, and nowhere in the manual that doesn't exist for this game did it tell me how bad this thing was. I began attempting to knock out a level 560 turtle so I could get some hide, but this is how that went. Holy crap, brother, go to bed. This is actually insane. Nope, he's back on me now. I'm wasting my time right now. I just really need hide. If you drag me into dangerous stuff, I'm gonna be more than upset. Holy hell, dude. This isn't real. This isn't real, right? Don't go out in the water. Don't go out in the water. And there goes pretty much all of day 2. When the sun went down and my chonies got cold, I saw a basic dodo next to me, which would give me the hide I needed for now. It's pretty sad that I'm supposed to be an apex predator, yet here I am only able to kill a vanilla dodo. Oh my goodness, I killed the dodo. I actually killed something. Day 3 had begun, and I was feeling refreshed. I checked my surroundings for threats before heading out to try and figure out what comes next. That's when I ran into a beta Mozchops and found out that the spear actually shouldn't exist, and I'm pretty salty towards the creators of this mod for memeing me this hard. I ran circles with this nuclear-infused mutated looking asshole for about an hour to the point of going cross-eyed and actually questioning my career choice. I spent the entire day trying to knock this beta out. It would be a great addition to my team, but then I remembered the tier system, which means even if I could knock this guy out, I need beta kibble, which I definitely don't have access to yet. I'm assuming I need some sort of kibble like Primal Fear to tame this, so it's not even going to be possible to tame. I'm just trying to get the hide. Day 4, I remained perched on my rock, throwing spears as if my life depended on it, which it kind of did. But there was no end in sight. I threw spears for about 5 minutes before an ichthy ruined the piece and almost got me killed. After taking care of that, I got back on my rock and continued on with the head bashing experience. A few minutes later, I finally killed the Mozchops, which wasn't the goal, by the way. I just happened to not know I was dealing more damage than torpor. Luckily, the XP was worth it, granting me 18 levels from killing it and also getting me my first bit of beta hide from farming his body. I finished things off by unlocking engrams for items I thought would be necessary for my playthrough. Day 5, I killed myself so I could spawn somewhere else only because of the Death Inventory Keeper mod, which allows me to not drop items upon death. Without this, I'd probably quit before I started. That's when I saw explosions in the distance, and I knew I was about to roll up on some stupid Yep, I died to the aftermath of that same explosion. Later, I tunnel visioned to find crystal. With crystal, I could craft an awesome spyglass, which would help me a lot on deciding what's possible to tame. I then crafted my first set of armor, which was beta hide armor. It offers more protection than vanilla armor, and I was definitely gonna need it. A pack of raptors ended my short-lived victory session of crafting armor, so time to spawn somewhere else. After respawning, I learned that I could bowl a higher tier dodos, which made life a hell of a lot easier when trying to get beta and alpha hide to start things off. This saved my life on multiple encounters. I got this. I'm adapting, don't worry. Day 6, I wanted to test something wanting to see if this Primal Spear was actually a fluke, so I started knocking out that level 600 trike from the beginning. This would be an awesome first time, allowing me to gather berries at good rates and just being somewhat tanky at a high level, but here's another time lapse of how that went. Don't juke me out like that, man. I just crossed the water for what? For what? For you to cross back? This whole extravaganza went into day 7, making life extra dreadful for me, and at this point I pretty much knew this spear was a useless piece of ass, but I stuck with it just to see things through. After all of that, I killed the trike, and I sure had a lot to say about the situation. So I said screw it, I'll never get anywhere staying in safe areas, and began running towards a nearby hill where I knew Crystal resided. I ran for my life with a sleeping bag equipped and ready to be deployed, that way I could respawn nearby in case of death. Day 8, the journey continued when I finally reached the foot of the mountain that I was searching for. Now I just gotta find my way up. I saw the light at the end of the tunnel when I began to recognize my surroundings and knew that Crystal was super close, along with a bunch of metal nodes. After getting the 2 crystal I needed, I immediately crafted the awesome spyglass, which will now tell me everything I need to know about wildlife, such as health, torpor, and what that certain dino needs to eat to be tamed. My next goal was to craft a Chaos Forge, which is the new upgraded variant of the Vanilla Forge, plus a smithy and Primal Smithy. With these items, I'll know a little bit more information about being able to actually get somewhere within this mod. Day 9, after collecting the necessary resources, I crafted the Chaos Forge and got it placed on a foundation to see what it was all about. It crafted metal 3 times as fast as a normal forge, plus it unlocked other unique items such as tiered metal ingots, which were actually quite easy to craft when the time comes. I proceeded to search for a killable dino for the rest of the day because I needed hide for both smithies, and I came across a high-level parasaur. I got my work cut out for me, and this is gonna take some time, but don't worry, I'll get there. Give me that hide, baby, give me that hide. Finally got enough. Day 10, I got the parasaur put down and gathered its hide before heading back to my little mountain to continue what I started. I got my primal smithy placed and checked out the new mod items, one of which was potent narcotics and potent tranq arrows. They'd take some grinding to make, but it seems like the only viable way of knocking out these higher tier dinos at the moment. Next came a normal smithy, so I could now craft metal tools and a crossbow. After doing so, a sleeping bag was in order because being where I was, my food and water was draining like crazy, so I died quite often up here. To finish off the day, I made an upgrade station, which is another useful mod that allows you to pay resources to upgrade the tier of your weapons and armor. But I soon realized that my game got bugged and no crafting items were showing up anymore. So I'm gonna fix this and I'll see you guys on day 11. The first minute or two of day 11 I spent running from a beta dodo. I thought I was safe on my little hill, but I guess not. I ran my little heart out until 2 more alpha dodos and a turtle were facing me down when I decided to just give up. Though unfortunate, it gives me a fresh spawn with new creatures and I needed some hide to remake my primal smithies, so I'm back on the hunt. That's when I found a stupid high-level turtle, which was probably gonna take an entire day to kill, but I need to get this done one way or another. So I began gathering what was needed to make a few arrows to assist me in killing it. Day 12, with little sleep, I started the dreadful task of gunning down the turtle, which would prove to be quite annoying. I spent a lot of time doing this, and by full sunrise, I only had the turtle at half health when it decided to go in the water, which seems like a big no-no for me. Screw it though, if I die, I die. When I had the turtle almost dead, his buddy came out of nowhere to taunt me. A while later, when the sun began to fall, I threw the last few spears to secure the kill, which didn't feel all that worth it, but nonetheless, I have the hide I need now. To finish off this lovely day, I hit a white drop that was actually pretty good, giving me an Ascendant Club and a Journeyman Torch. I also died because I was overweight, but who cares, am I right? Day 13, I found a semi-safe area on the beach to start building. I needed a place I could feel protected when the scaries come to get me, plus I need to get started on getting my first tame. It's going to involve a lot of grinding to get there though, as the mod dinos need specific tiered kibble to tame, which means I need crop soon. But to be safe, I need stone structure surrounding me, which in itself is a huge task. This took up my entire day. Later that night, a legendary raptor made its way to my base, so I had to drag it away, which got me killed, but at least he's gone. Day 14, the stone grind continued, which felt never ending. After finally getting enough, I threw up the last few walls on my little square, and I also made a primal smithy, so hopefully Suddenly progression is in my favor now. I then spent a lot of time gathering berries from bushes, but what I really needed was narco berries. It costed 5 of them per 1 potent narcotic, which to make 1 potent arrow needs 2 of those narcotics, and doing this by hand really sucked. Day 15, I got to work by crafting all of the potent arrows that I could, which only turned out to be 5, but if I'm correct, I think they're really good. Finding direction and order for the day was tough for me though, because I was super intimidated by this mod, even more so than Primal Fear, which is a huge statement. I killed a beta trilobite and then an alpha dilo, but I was scared to venture off to try and get myself a tame. Day 16, I stood on my little perch that I built in the ocean for protection against the beta Trudon, who I ended up killing. This was huge for me because for some time now, I've been short on beta hide. When the sun rose, I noticed a normal parasaur made its way over to my base. It was just a level 100, but it'll aid me in getting more narco berries, so it's just gonna have to do for now. And after testing the potent arrows, I can definitely say the grind is worth it. The parasaur woke up, and I brought him home to immediately begin farming berries. In the evening, I got a crop plot placed at my base, so I could now start growing rocket root for this beta kibble. In the morning of day 17, I started looking for possible beta tames now that I'd soon have the ability to feed them. I went pretty far from my base, knocked out a beta dilo while being chased by a legendary one just to test these potent tranq arrows further, since it capped out at 1000 on the parasaur. And now I know they do 1.9 thousand torpor per arrow, which is nutty. After the legendary ran away, I killed the beta that I knocked out with a torch, because it seemed to be my highest damage weapon at the moment. Beta hide is a struggle, and I need 330 for the beta pteranodon saddle, which is most likely what I'll be going after. When I returned home from my 5-minute measly little trip, I immediately went into a deep depression. Can I get an RIP parasaur who had no name in the chat? It wasn't until about midnight that I was finally able to craft 2 beta kibble and began knocking out a level 80 beta pteranodon when an alpha dodo came to ruin everything I've been working so hard for. I got the PT knocked out, yes, but the unfortunate part was I had no way of killing this alpha dodo other than knocking it out first, so I wasted a bunch of my tranq arrows doing so. Day 18 is where everything took a turn for the worst. Another alpha dodo forced me to run to my ocean perch, and I'll let the rest speak for itself. You're gonna break my bed now? What the hell is wrong? Why are dodos so cracked, man? How did he bite me? I was behind him! This wasn't even the worst part either. After respawning, I began the sprint home, which out of literally nowhere, this happened. You took my gloves and my alpha! Oh my god! There's no way! You took my beta kibble! Yeah, needless to say, I was pretty upset. I worked my ass off getting that beta kibble just for it to get ripped away by an ichthy. After returning home to get revenge on alpha dodos, I needed to immediately get back to searching for dinosaur eggs because that's the hardest part of crafting the kibble. Luckily, the cracked shadow turkey down the way had laid 2 eggs nearby, and I risked grabbing them, which worked out perfectly. Later on, after farming, I got another crop plot placed, so now I just have to wait for the rocket roots to grow, and I'll be solid. Day 19, I crafted both beta kibbles I needed to tame a high-leveled PT, and headed out to do so. I watched him fly in circles, laughing from above, as I, a measly little human with ropes and stones, sat on the ground, patiently waiting. But soon he'd grow tired and have to land. When he did land, I trapped him and began knocking him out with these powerful tranqs. I only had 6, so I had to make a count, which 6 times 1.9k torpor equals exactly what I need for the bird to go down. After throwing the kibble in his inventory, he immediately woke up, and then we headed back home. I wanted to park him above the ocean so no threats had the chance of getting to him before I could craft the saddle. I started by killing a beta dilo to get the last bit of hide I needed since I already had everything else. But as you guys know, unfortunately, the only thing I had was a torch and some bolas, so this took quite some time and patience. Day 20, I got the saddle crafted after a hellish night full of raptor attacks and lurking shadow turkeys. But now it's time for some revenge and shocked reactions of me killing stuff with the PT. 1500 damage. Oh, you do 120? I'm solid. I'm just gonna chill here. Let's go! I needed chitin. I appreciate it. I feel so strong right now. You bullied me so much, and now you get what you deserve, man. Give me all these eggs. Damn, this guy was laying eggs like a freaking bunny rabbit. Melee damage? What do we crank up? I think we get up to like 25,000 health. During nightfall, I looked down at my base, contemplating moving, and I came to the decision that since I now have a flyer, I'm gonna build my permanent base on a high point of the map where no threats can reach me at any given time. What a way to finish off day 20. Day 21, I began the search for a new home. Where I was would virtually never be safe, plus the location was inconvenient when it came time to needing resources. I searched the map far and wide until I came across a little cubby that I never knew existed. After finding my soon-to-be forever home, I started unlocking more engrams because there was a lot of new mod craftables that I wanted to learn about. Day 22 started with me clearing the area because it was overgrown with trees, rocks, bushes, and bamboo, and if I wanted to build an efficient, aesthetic base, I needed the stuff out of my way. Shortly after, with what I had, I started my base with a few foundations and walls just to get some of my crafting stations placed. When I peeked at a few of the new engrams, I saw that there was higher tier tools, and I didn't waste any time getting my own. Harvest rate 2.5x? That's amazing. Alpha blood and metal ingots go in the forge to make alpha ingots, which is the hardest part for the tools. After getting my tools in order, I also crafted a full alpha kite and armor set, which was going to make my surviving a tad easier. Each piece gives 250 armor, which, if we put that into perspective, is the defense rating of tech armor in the base game. That armor looks freaking sick! What the hell was that? Day 23 began with a huge narcoberry farm because I was out of those potent arrows and I needed a few to get myself a berry gatherer. I didn't care what it was at this point, really. It could have been anything as long as it had better harvesting rates than my dirty little paws. I'd love to tell you anything other than the fact that I just picked berries for a long portion of the day, but I just can't. Oh, we need to give you a name, buddy. Green eggs and ham is probably the best I could come up with. After my farm, I was able to make 10 arrows, which should be more than enough to take down a basic dino. And now we can roll out and hopefully find something soon. I surveyed my surroundings, which if we remember from the beginning, there was a gigantic turtle boss. Yeah, I didn't realize I built my base right under him. I didn't find much other than a weak parasaur and a bunch of untamable dinos, so I'll give it some time for other things to spawn in. Day 24 began my little building spree. I spent quite a bit of time crafting and placing structures, putting extra care into it for the best results. That'll do for now. On day 25, I continued working on my base. Farming and crafting for said structures was no quick task, which led all the way up until sunset when I decided to leave base for some fresh air. I really want to go find a tame, but I think first I need cementing paste, so let's go find cementing paste before I start anything else. Cementing paste, crystal, a few other things. Something I wanted to start soon was a greenhouse, because all of the kibble required to tame betas, alphas, and so on needed base veggies. I searched along a riverbank until I noticed a few beavers getting their swim on, which told me a dam was somewhere nearby. I waited for the hydro beaver to get further before hopping off to empty the dam. Let's go! I got close to 200 cementing paste, which I believe is enough for now. All right, cool. I got some cementing paste. Day 26, I saw what the requirements were for the tame helpers because who has time to wait around for stuff to tame when it can just be instant? All I needed was a singular narcotic and the rare flowers I just got from the beaver dam. After crafting, I surfaced to find a mythic jerboa that was on the brink of death. I didn't realize at first how huge this was for me to kill it, but let me tell you, it was a big turning point for me. Whoa! They do a lot of damage. Upon murdering the little purple guy, I got a bunch of goodies, as you can see on the left, but I didn't notice at first. I was just really excited to have put down a super high tier dino and to get the mythic hide and blood. Shortly after, I scouted out a level 160 carbonimus, which, who cares, it's a poo-poo turtle, I just needed him for berries. Just took a little longer to knock him out than I wanted it to because of the gigantic squirtle douche. What? Why are you on top of the thing I'm trying to tame? And then the demonic Dilo, who showed up slightly after and started exploding the world for literally no freaking reason. Die, you ugly turtle. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. On day 27, I finished off the turtle with my club since I ran out of arrows last night. I knew this Ascendant club would pull through someday. After KOing the miscreated dinosaur, I fed it the tame helper, which instantly drained his food to zero, allowing me to tame it super quick, even with mejo berries. Let's not worry about your name right now, just come on. Damn, he's fast. Look at him waddle! When the carbo woke up, I put a saddle on and had my PT follow me back to my little hole when I saw the demonic was on his way to blow us up. Please follow me down, because if you don't, it's... Come on! He ended up leaving me alone, so I took the moment of peace to test berry gathering on the turtle, and honestly, I'm not upset. It's actually way better than parasaur rates. Later, when I was looking for better craftable armor, I came across the Mythic flak set. I could make the Mythic, which is 2,500 armor. After realizing how stupid OP this armor was, I immediately hopped on green eggs and ham to find some metal. Day 28, the metal journey began with a few stops along the way. Can I use a healing potion on the Pteranodon? He's at 43. Oh! That's beautiful. I found this mythic snow owl who seemed easy enough to kill, and in doing so, I'd get more of those mythic goodies, so why not? We tussled and went back and forth until I killed him, which did in fact give me more loot, and most importantly, the hide and blood. A little further up the hill was a few metal nodes, so I got to work with my newly crafted Alpha pickaxe, and straight up, I'm a portable Anki now. I don't need farming dinos when I got myself. I spent my entire night up here, gathering as much metal and crystal as possible. It was also nice to feel safe for once, so maybe I was clinging on to the thought of that, making me stay the extra few minutes. Day 29. I left my resource hill with a little under 6,000 metal and almost 900 crystal. Those deathworms are so scary looking. I think this run was every bit of successful. I returned to my homestead with the goal of making 2 more forges for faster smelting, but I was short on hide and didn't want to use the special stuff for the forges, so I went out to kill a few things. There we go. See how much hide we can get. That's 400, that's 500. 600. With that, I crafted 2 forges, got them stuffed with wood and metal, and not long after, I'll be rolling in the metal. Now that I have what I need, I could put mythic blood into the forge along with metal ingots to make mythic ingots, which will allow me to craft mythic armor soon enough. When metal was done smelting, I crafted the set, and I gotta say, that's the full set, and it's my color. This game knew that I was meant to be a mythic person. I'm purple as hell, but damn it, I'm looking good. 12,500 armor. 12,500. Afterwards, I made the tools to go along with the entire mythic set, and now I was feeling pretty confident. Day 30, I noticed with the mythic armor equipped that I was getting buffs, as you can see here. Wait, do you see all those things I have at the bottom right? What is that? What are all those buffs? Oh, my crafting skill went up. My stamina went up to 760. My weight went up to 1,280. Crafting skill, weight increase, movement speed, food, and stamina. My one and only goal for the entire day, other than finding that out, was to construct a greenhouse and somewhat finish the first floor of my base, and I got started right away. While it would be cool to get new badass tames every day or fight bosses, sometimes it's nice and relaxing to stay home and improve your base. I'm happy with how the greenhouse turned out, but listen, I'm nowhere near done with this place. The first thing I did on day 31 was craft a fabricator because I needed access to electronic crafting for a cryo fridge and cryopods. Of course, following this is somehow getting gasoline from combining oil and hide in a forge, but I won't ask questions. Immediately after, I hopped on my bird for a trip to the north in hopes of picking up some more oil and silica pearls. I also killed an alpha ovis, which I was excited about, but unfortunately the game bugged out and wouldn't let me farm his body. What the hell? Why isn't he farming? Is there something I don't know? Why isn't he farming? A short fly along the shore led me to a few silica pearls where I began snatching them up so I could craft electronics soon enough. I gathered oil while here to further set up myself to craft industrial equipment later on. I'd say the final thing to make this trip worth it would be some penguins, which are so freaking rare on this map, but I need polymer and I'll stop at nothing to get it. Checking out a blue drop led me directly to what I was searching for. Penguins! Stop eating my bodies! Day 32, I hit one final spot that I had knowledge on where pearls spawned, and after grabbing what I could, it was time to fly home. When I returned, there were a few things I wanted to get started on, one of which was a generator. This grants me power, which I'll need for further projects like a grill and lights. Speaking of, after I crafted the generator, I noticed my food situation has been slightly rough, so the grill was up next. Day 33 began with the crafting of a grill so my ass could eat. Following was the well-executed placement of my grill. This base is coming together and getting cozier by the day. Finally came a refrigerator so all of my perishables could last a little while longer before spoiling. Later in the day, I was trying my hardest to figure out the upgrade station when I watched a video on YouTube and I saw that all I needed to do was click the item that I was trying to upgrade first. Then I could attempt to level it up, which is exactly what I did. Ascended crossbow should help out quite a bit when knocking out tames. Afterwards, I checked on crops because I was in need of a few for Alpha Narcotics. After all of that, I decided that it was time to craft a cryo fridge and cryopod, so I headed to Greenob to do so. You got me messed up if you think I'm taming a Rex and walking it across the map and through a pond to get to my house. When I got to the obelisk, I crafted the fridge and 10 cryopods to go along with it, which I believe will be more than enough for a while. To finish off an eventful day, I found myself a level 580 Phiomia, which will make an excellent poop farmer. It's hard to get your footing in this mod because of all of the different things that you have to achieve before making kibble, but listen, we're almost there. Day 34, my turd basket arose to be named Elvish Pooply, and if you have something better in mind, just know you actually don't. This is the god among Phiomia. I returned home to do a few things, notably crafting alpha kibble with some beta eggs that I found along my travels.
Afterwards, while looking at my unfinished base, I began adding more for self-satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment.
By midday, I was finished for the moment and got on crafting the Phiomia saddle. Elvis Pooply knew what was coming, but he had nowhere to run. Throw stem berries in his stinky ass mouth, force him to eat it, and give me all the poop. With this, I'll have consistent growing crops for my never-ending need of kibble. In the evening, I headed to the beaches for a tan, but ended up getting an alpha dodo. Let me explain why. So the tier system in this mod involves eggs needed for kibble. The most consistent way to get eggs is by having opposite gender dinos chill at your base and wait for eggies. Each tier higher than the previous kibble-wise needs eggs. So in this situation, for me to tame elementals, which is above alpha, I need alpha eggs. But I've run out of beta eggs for alpha kibble, so you know what comes next. Day 35, with what I said in mind, I headed to Herbivore Island to get a beta parasaur. Now all I need is a female before I can start crafting alpha kibble easily. With a short flight back to the mainland, I noticed a neon green female parasaur that only needed 1 kibble to tame, which was perfect. Oh, female, perfect! This is everything I need. I took a long flight home during the sunrise with my new friends, thinking about all of the cool things I'll be doing in the coming days. Something else that I didn't know is that you can throw mod armor into the upgrade station to further upgrade it, meaning I can be even more resilient than I am now. Next came a long neck rifle. I got one crafted because after seeing some of the crazy high torpor on some of these dinos, and the fact that the crossbow is amazing, but it only does 4.4 thousand torpor. So I think I'm gonna need a long neck soon. And while here, I might as well upgrade it too. Night came around and I noticed it was too dark, so one final addition before sleep was a lamp to brighten things up. Day 36, after grabbing all things necessary, I made 25 Mythic tranq darts, which is the highest tier, so we will see if it makes a big difference. Later, I went on a long egg run because my parasaurs were slacking off. All sons of truckers really aren't laying eggs, are you? This eventually led me to another beaver dam, which held 359 cementing paste, which I so badly needed. Now that we're on the subject, cementing paste is a little bit sussy baka. Especially since these beavers somehow made it in their mouth, spit it into a pile of wood. Ugh, it just freaks me out. The egg run went on for so long that I gave up and started killing my first hydro turtle. Turns out it was pretty easy, I just wanted to see what it was all about. I also found out that this is how you get elemental blood and hide. As night approached, I grew tired, and I thought it would be a good idea to see how strong volcanic deathworms were, and let's just say a beta pteranodon is not cut out for this line of work. Day 37, I heard a big commotion outside and noticed a skeletal triceratops had obliterated a demonic dilo right next to my base. But I took the opportunity to farm the dilo's body for free demonic hide and blood, as it's gonna be hard to come by until I get really strong. I then made 9 alpha kibble with all the beta eggs I've been getting from my parasaurs to hopefully get myself a strong alpha tame. Once finished, I began the longest RG search in the history of mankind because apparently high-leveled alphas are harder to find than John Cena. I searched far and wide, saw some dragons and other mythical beings, but not a good alpha bird. Day 38, I made my way to Carnivore Island, which was dangerous as all hell. I'm talking wyverns, electrical griffins, and everything in between. But I did find an almost max level alpha RG, and I knew I wanted it. He toyed with me at first, yes, but I started stuffing him full of drugs and lead, only hoping he wouldn't go down in a bad spot. Unfortunately, I hit a god snipe, causing the RG to knock out and probably the worst spot in history. I immediately flew over and tried my best to kill everything in the area, but it was all just too strong, and the more I tried, the more dinos flooded in to attack the RG. When I left the island feeling defeated, an alpha Anki was spotted at a high level to make up for what I just lost. I started knocking him out, and hopefully this would go better than what just happened. He woke up at level 717 with absurd stats, which made me excited to start farming with him, but as you know, I still need an RG. I searched through the night looking for a good alpha, but the search ran dry and it was time for me to call it off. Day 39, I crafted a few elemental kibbles just in case I came across an elemental RG. At this point, I'll take either. Afterwards, feeling well rested, I brought my sorry ass back out on another search for a not bald eagle. I hit every RG spawn known to man, but it seems like the only things that I can find were mythics, regulars, and betas. After searching my heart out, I found a level 260 alpha, which was bad all around, but it's all I have access to for now, so I'm just gonna deal with it. The final dart to his story landed in the perfect area, allowing me to finally say that I'm going home with an RG. After the bird awoke, I took the slow flight home, making sure I didn't lose track of it. When I returned to base, I crafted the saddle so I could begin murdering my village's civilians for XP and materials. The RG did a little over 1,000 damage, which isn't terrible, but actually, no, it's freaking horrible. But he'd mainly be a workhorse for farming and hauling. Day 40 with the RG stats sitting a little bit better than they were before. I brought the Anki to a metal mountain to see what the rates were looking like. There were 2 electric saber-tooths at the top, but my Anki is a freaking god among men and kicked their asses into next week with a few swings of the tail. After farming a note or two, I hopped off to check how much metal we were talking, and my golly, this mother is cracked beyond what I could imagine. When the fog lifted, I farmed the rest of what was on this hilltop, heading home with 18,000 metal and 1,800 crystal. I don't think resources will fall short for literally the rest of my life with this guy. Later on, I headed to the great beaches of the island to get another alpha dodo of the opposite gender so I could start getting alpha eggs. I returned to get them laid out at my base so I could start breeding them. That way I could maximize my egg production. Soon enough, I'll be able to tame elementals and be on my way to fighting my very first boss. Day 41, I crafted a new mod craftable called the Dragon Harvesting Spear, which is actually a really bougie name for a cryo gun. It allows me to pick up dinos at the pull of a trigger and throw them back out anywhere on the map without a stupid cryo fridge. I potted Igali as a showcase and flew out of my base to test it far away from the cryo fridge just to make sure it works. Turns out it works great. By the way, all mods that I'm using will be in the description below in case you guys want to use them. Later, I hatched some dodo eggs to get my egg farm up and running because elemental kibble was my top priority at the moment. Damn it, I got excited. It's poop. Later, I headed to Carnivore Island to kill some mythics so I could re-up on those beautiful potions. Day 42, I was flying home when a fog wave hit, and let's see what I had to say. Yes, I just love fog. It's such an enjoyable aspect of gaming. This isn't a thing! The hell was that? That being said, it took me most of the day to get home because I kept getting ADHD spikes of, ooh, an egg, ooh, a mythic, ooh, your mom. You get the gist. I guess the only notable thing about day 42 was finding a new mod dino that made me want to quit. Day 43, I started another cross-map trip back to the north for silica pearls and polymer. I was super close to crafting the chemistry bench, which would make tranked art crafting a lot easier because making gunpowder with a mortar and pestle was significantly slower. When I arrived, I saw a level 40 electric griffin, and yes, I know, it's terrible, but at least I'd have a griffin. I started shooting him with darts until his torpor got high, but now I gotta chase him down, which is the hard part. Luckily, he ran himself into a wall like a freaking idiot, allowing me to finish the job. 1 elemental kibble later, and I have a terrible griffin, but the important thing is, I can shoot off the back of him, meaning taming just got way easier. When the sun fell, I still hadn't found pearls, but what I did find was trilobites, which drop pearls when farmed. This plus my glorious hatchet got me more than enough. A few steps along the lovely icy shores was a gnarly penguin spawn, which meant murder and family tree disappearance for these guys. Day 44 began with smiles and laughter as I returned to be greeted by alpha eggs from my dodos. Finally! It may have taken 5 days for them to start, but I'll take it. After a few chores, the chemistry bench was on its way. Then I got my long neck rifle cranked up to Ascendant, which will help in dealing more torpor damage with the trank darts I'm about to craft. I really just did chores today because I'm pretty far behind, but if I can find 2 good elementals to breed in my army, I think I can catch up pretty quick. I finished things off by crafting as many mythic narcotics as possible for the coming days. Day 45, I started searching for elemental tames that I could breed an army with. I came across the volcano and got trapped in a terrible fog wave that could have dropped me in lava and killed me at any time. I was scared and definitely thought I was gonna die, either by touching lava or possibly a Giga or Carcharodontosaurus in the volcano, which would have killed me too. After all of that, I came head to head with my first volcanic dragon, which looked easy enough to tame. Low melee, torpor wasn't too high, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Worst mistake of my life, and here's why. Okay, I get it. All right, don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. Stats look weak, but it's not, I swear. Later, I found myself in the redwoods, staring down a Hydroallosaurus, which I thought could make a decent army, so I got him put down and tamed. Shortly after, a high-level electric griffin flew straight to me and asked to join my team, so why the hell not? He went down and woke up just as fast when I named him Peter, and his stats actually gave me hope that I could beat this mod. 46 was fun. I tested out the new griffin. He did really good damage damage and attacked faster than my aloe died later on. You'll see. I think if I can get a female electric griffin and breed the hell out of like 30 of these, I can start fighting bosses. I was easily able to take down Shadow Rock elementals now too, which by the way, gave me stupid levels. Why do those give so much experience? I pumped everything into health, which got my griffin up to 290,000. I killed a lot of dinos today, just to shortly after get another 25 levels that went all into melee. And I gotta say, this griffin is my new favorite thing. Day 47, I left base to keep looking for other elementals when I found a volcanic Deathworm. Level 400 worm after taming should be pretty good, and with the fact that I have a griffin, this should also be really easy to tame. I just floated above him and shot darts down without ever getting touched. After he arose, I named him Shia-Lud, and if you don't know what the reference is, go watch both Dune movies and get back to me. Dune is what Star Wars wished it could have been. I'll wait for you to comment. That's okay. You don't have much to say? Yeah, I know. I'm right. Day 48, I had to settle because unfortunately I couldn't find another aloe of the opposite gender to get hydro eggs. I decided I'd just get 2 hydro turtles because they're copious on this map. My first victim revealed themselves quickly, which was an easy tame. Welcome to the family, my little gummy blue turtle. When I got back home, I laid them out on my second floor so they could start producing. For those who don't know, the boss summoners need 2 either hydro eggs, volcanic eggs, or electric eggs. But in this case, as you know, I'll be going for the hydro boss. To finish off the day, I started leveling my hydro allosaurus to get him ready for a boss I had no business fighting. Day 49, I took my Deathworm out for a joyride, which had me absolutely speechless. This thing was really freaking strong. It had the attack radius of a rocket launcher and set fire to the world with each bite. Not only that, he had some type of healing ability, which I still don't know about, but in every fight that I engaged in, not once did he lose an ounce of health. I can see why they're not allowed to breed, because if they were, I'd create an army out of worms. After I had my fun, I crafted and used the Hydro Boss Summoner, and this is where I'll let the video speak on behalf of me. This is what began my search for another griffin of the opposite gender. This fight wasn't gonna be one of those one strong dino versus the bosses. It was going to be more of a Savage Acro situation where I need an actual army of 100 dinos. I headed to Carnivore Island where I found a level 380 electric female and started the most annoying taming experience of all times. After wrestling to get the griffin, it got away and left me upset and confused. He literally vanished. I gave up and started flying home when out of nowhere I found the griffin I was knocking out sitting on a cliff. I found him! How on earth did I manage to do that? Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Day 50, I got my first griffin egg and began hatching it inside where it was hot. After my first baby was born, I was going to go on another adventure, but I think we're past that point. I really need to focus on breeding a bunch of these bad boys so I can take down a boss, which turned out to be what day 50 was all about. I bred a lot and prepared in other areas for the hydro boss. In between, I took a short break to soak in the views that came along with this beautiful lakeside base. I'm gonna get well rested and hit it hard tomorrow because we have a boss to kill. Day 51 began the dreadful task of leveling and breeding 20-ish electric griffins to fight the hydro boss. This was a slow and grindy process, so bear with me. Firstly, I went out to kill stuff and things to level the first griffin. When I returned, I was greeted by baby griffins that I now need to raise on top of it all. Luckily, only 1 imprint was needed for each, but it's still a rough situation. Day 52 was more of the same. At this point, I had roughly 6 or 7 griffins who needed my constant attention, making sure that they were fed and imprinted properly for the best results. No mutations yet, but fingers crossed. Alright, let's go ahead and change their names. Needs leveling. Day 53, my little adolescent griffins told me to head out and start leveling because they no longer needed my protection. Out I went to begin killing everything in sight once again for levels. My goal was 500,000 health and 1800 melee, which I'm hoping is enough to take down the Hydro Turtle with ease. I am slightly nervous though, as he squished my aloe like grape and had zero remorse in doing so. When I had a moment to myself, I crafted an industrial cooker for medbrew crafting, as each of the mod potions need 1 per, so this was essential. Day 54, I was up to 13 griffins, but only 5 were fully leveled. My best hope to speed this process up was killing Mythics, which have a chance to drop XP potions, and it only takes 1 medium to get these guys where I need them. Unfortunately though, Mythics have a really low spawn rate. Day 55 started started with a mass hatching of 7 eggs to get the last bit of griffins I needed. After these guys raise, it's a grind to level them all before day 60 because that's when I want to fight the hydro turtle. This is what my day looked like since I just hatched 7 babies and needed to stick around base for imprints. I hope my little balls of electricity are strong enough to kill a turtle. I mean, when I say it out loud, it sounds goofy, but apparently prehistoric turtles can blow tornadoes out their mouth and shoot you out of the sky. Later in the day, I made a metal vault for more storage as I was running low, and also redesigned my top floor with greenhouse walls to somewhat finish it. Day 56 was no different than the previous days. Murder, experience, murder, love on my babies, more murder. Luckily, my griffin kicked me off into the water when the sun was setting, which gave me a heart attack and slight PTSD, but hey, he didn't know any better. Day 57, I was bored and poked a resurrected raptor just to see what I could do, and let's just say that if I sat here and attacked him for the rest of this playthrough, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't even be at half health. Also, comment below, how do you think this fight's gonna go with the turtle? Am I gonna win or get obliterated? If you guess right, I'll send you a cupcake. Day 58, I committed more crimes against my neighborhood friends. They knocked on my front door one too many times, and now they must all die. Fortunately, we're almost done. I need to level 3 more griffins to have 21 ready to go fighters, and I couldn't be more excited to be done with this nonsense. It's day 59, and what do you know? More killing. And you're probably wondering why I didn't just kill baby griffins for XP, but the thing is, I tried. I know, I'm a horrible person. I killed toddler griffins who hadn't experienced life yet, but turns out they only give 4 levels per baby, which is horrible. I'd have to kill 15 babies per adult to get a fully leveled army, and no one's got time for that. Day 60 was finally here, and I used the med brews I crafted in the cooker to make alpha health potions. They're like the mythic ones that I've been using, just a little bit worse, but they're easy enough to make. Hopefully between these and the mythics, they can keep me and my main mount alive during the fight. When all preparations were complete, I surfaced to start depotting all of my birds, including Shialud, my big fireworm, you know, who was going to get in the action as well. When I believed I was ready, I fired off the boss spawner and began. What the hell am I supposed to do? I have an idea. This could take me all day. All right, so cementing paste and metal. I'm never gonna get this done. 1.7 million. Wait, did he just send those tornadoes into my base? Well, I'm just screwed. That's the gist of it. I'm literally just screwed. I have an idea though. Come over here, you dumbass turtle. I'll make you fight these Dilos. Yes, indeed. He murdered my squad within seconds, leaving me completely speechless and pissed off. There goes 10 days of grinding out the window and completely wasted. After this incident, I joined the Primal Chaos Discord in search of help and got the info I needed. It might be 10 more days of grinding, but I know what I need to do now. Day 61, I left the base immediately to go on a search for volcanic Rexes. Going on a trip in my favorite rocket ship, soaring through the skies, little Einsteins. The info I received from the Primal Chaos Discord led me to breeding those instead of griffins, as they're much stronger and can have saddles equipped for extra armor. It didn't take long for me to come across a 480 volcanic Rex with some texture issues. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be red and black and not look like a lump of clay, but whatever. I spent a decent amount of time gunning him down until he fell over. After taming, I named the Rex Numia and then headed to the snow biome to search for another, with no luck, of course. I can't say much for day 62. I scoured the map in search of a male volcanic Rex, but I didn't find anything. The entire day, my little bird slave drug me everywhere without a break. I'm sure he's tired, but who cares? I need another Rex. Day 63, after finally letting my bird sleep and also getting some rest myself, I ventured back out because I wasn't giving up. By midday, I didn't find much, but I'll keep searching until the sun goes down. I remembered a Rex spawn later in the day that I haven't checked yet, so I went back to the snow biome for one last attempt. And to my surprise, I found this. Later, when the Rex woke up, I named him Eucario and then journeyed straight home to once again start breeding. Day 64 began with me getting my very first volcanic Rex egg. Now I just have to make some more air conditioners and then I can start hatching them. Speaking of, after grabbing the egg, I made 2 ACs and then started working on my platform. I started with some foundations along the ledge of the water, and then I'd finish it off with some ceilings here shortly. This will be our breeding platform over here. Thanks for your time, thanks for the eggs, thanks for everything. Day 65, I continued on with the breeding platform by placing some rails followed by a little balcony above it. While at it, I also made as many Rex saddles as possible to get these guys suited up for the fight. And after getting all of my babies laid out on the platform, I gave them a speech.
Hello, my army. Times have gotten tough, but let me tell you, when I'm done with you, you're gonna be able to take down any beast in this entire world.
I don't think they're having it. Also, I wish you guys actually looked like a volcano instead of this checkered madness. Could literally play checkers on your back.
Nonetheless, you're a beautiful army.
For the rest of the day, I hung out with my newborn checkered Rexes and waited for imprints. Day 66, my first batch of Rexes were almost fully raised, so I hatched the second batch to take their place when they finished up. Leveling these Rexes, when all is said and done, is gonna take a really long time, as we remember with the Griffins. Unless a miracle happens, my next 10 days are looking rough. Later, I brought one of the new Rexes out for a test run to see what the damage was like. I now understand why Griffins weren't a good choice for the boss. The Rexes do way more damage and have better health and melee level multipliers. Day 67, I flew out to level my Rexes when I saw this. The turtle gods literally have looked down on me watching me struggle and sent me this weak one to kill so I could progress, and I was ecstatic. I ended up killing it, which gave me all of this sweet goodness. But I didn't realize the best part until a little bit later. The important thing is that from killing this, I got hydro fruit seeds, so after I kill the other two elemental guardians, I can start taming higher tier dinos. Finally. Another notable item I received was the Hydro Guardian tameable summons, meaning I can have one of these bad boys to myself. Later that night, I decided to go for it and summoned in the tameable turtle boss. This process would go well into the night and into the next day. Wait, I am not doing nothing for torpor. There it is. Okay, so I can't hit him in the shell or I'm screwed. Day 68, I was sleepy as hell, but still knocking the turtle out. He called his big booty boss friend over to make things that much harder, as if one turtle wasn't scary enough. I spent half the day doing this until I ran out of darts, but at least I had the turtle halfway there. I have to head home quickly to make more darts, and I'll finish this off later. I had narcotics crafting, which was pretty slow, so I also need to figure out something else to do while I waited, and that's when I found out that killing the turtle boss gave me an ass load of XP potions, meaning I don't have to waste time leveling Rexes by killing stuff when I could just feed them a potion and be done. With that, I had leveled every Rex to roughly 1.3 million health and 2500 melee. This went on through the night while I waited for my darts to be done crafting. 1.1 million health and 2500. That's crazy. Day 69, I gave myself the daunting task of completing the KO on the Blastoise, which would prove to be quite annoying. This went on for a long time leading up to sunfall, and it felt like there was no end in sight. I didn't give up though. One dart after another brought us into the next morning. Day 70. I finally knocked out this ugly turtle who kinda looks like a Valheim boss, and after a long 2-day process, I was finally relieved to say I own a gigantic tornado-spitting turtle. We're gonna have a Hydro Guardian. It was an amazing feeling to finally accomplish something in this playthrough after constantly getting kicked into the dirt. This mod is really tough, and I still have a long road ahead of me, but for now, I'm gonna take a moment to bask in glory. And by bask in glory, I mean immediately throwing out some of my god Rexes to try and kill the OG boss that I summoned in 10 days ago. Here goes nothing. Nah, just go for it, man. Just go for it. Nah, they're all dead. They're all dead. They're all dead. I get it, man. I really do. But you need to chill the hell out. That is crazy. After watching my 1.3 million health Rex friends drop like flies, I decided it was time to dip. This boss is way too damn strong. To finish off the day, I brought Turtle God out to play around for a little bit. And after killing some stuff and having my fun, and also getting the turtle's health to 3 million, I figured I was strong enough to kill a demonic Dilo now. Here's what happened. We're about to find out. What? Hurry, 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 hurry. No, please, hurry. Go, 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 go. I messed up, I messed up, I messed up. I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. My victories are short-lived. My will to go on has faded. I don't want to do it anymore. Day 71 was nothing special. I got the rest of my Rexes saddled up and fully leveled. And since a lot of them got wiped out already, I only had 10 left. After, I flew over to the Hydro Turtle to try a new tactic. I threw out my Rexes and had one follow me to trigger the boss's tornadoes. Then after, I started attacking and saw I was only doing a few thousand damage when he smeared my Rex that followed me, so I knew I was doomed. I ended up having him de-aggro, then we left while we could. Day 72, I summoned the Volcanic Guardian as the Hydro wasn't necessary to kill anymore, it was just a test of strength. And this is when I found out that I have been playing the game wrong for 72 days. I reached back out to the creator of Primal Chaos because something felt off, and sure enough, he told me that since I increased the max level of wild dinos to 600, that I had to make up for it by increasing increasing the tamed dino damage multipliers. By doing this, it would be a level playing field again, so I headed back to the main menu to do so. My griffins should have beat that turtle. None of my rexes should have died, and I should be way more powerful than I am right now. After getting things situated, I loaded back in to fight the volcanic boss, and here's how it went. Why are you running that way? Oh, that's not good. Go get him, baby. Show me how it's done. Show me how it's done. They're all about to die. There it is. This crazy damage output that you just saw me do was only half of what the creator of Primal Chaos told me to increase it by. Since my max level was 600 versus the original 150, that's 4 times. So I should have increased the damage multipliers by 4x. Instead, I did it by 2x. And we're still this freaking strong! Day 73, I got my revenge by heading to the turtle to hopefully smear the floor with its remains. I charged forward in hopes that the tornadoes wouldn't get a chance to kill my team. And just like that, we killed 2 guardians within 24 hours, and my spirits were up for sure. And it re-upped my potions. Let's go! What it feels like to be strong for once in my life. Later, I got a new crop plot for my volcanic fruit seeds, and lastly, all I need to do is kill the electric guardian boss to be able to start making fairy and mythic kibbles. But before that, I need to find 2 electric tames that can passively lay electric eggs since the griffins don't for some reason. Time to go on a search. I searched and searched and searched with no luck, of course, but I did find a vanilla giga. Y'all ever seen a griffin kill a giga? You're about to. Whoever said that gigas are scary? Come on. Day 74, I found myself a female electric RG in the snow biome, and since it'll just be an egg layer, I don't care about the low level. I knocked it out, fed it, and scooted along to look for another. I also found an electric aloe, so I tamed that as well, which gives me double the chances of finding something I need to start getting these eggs. For the rest of the day, I continued my search for either an aloe or RG, but like my bride, they were non-existent. Day 75, with no sleep, I kept looking. I wasn't going home without a breeding pair. I didn't care if it took me 2 days. I need to get this done. Not giving up later led to me finding a decent male electric RG, and after knocking it out, I did this by accident. There's no way I just killed that. The dive bomb hasn't worked this entire game! The one time I do it, it blows up the RG? Luckily, seconds later, I found another RG right up the road, and this time, I was successful in knocking it out and not killing it. After taming, I went straight home and got the RGs laid out on my platform so they could start producing eggs for me. I used the eggs to craft the electric boss summoner and headed to a field to summon and fight it. After this, I can plant electric fruits and get one step closer to finally beating this game. It's an enforcer. Now, isn't that just fancy? Guess we're about to find out what this thing can do. I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of it. Well, it doesn't matter because he's dead anyways. What the hell? Why is it still going? I'm scared. Why is it still going? Day 76. I got my first few electric eggs and immediately used them plus all of my new fruits to craft some shadow and fairy kibbles to get some new tames. Fairies are the easy part, but finding 2 shadows that can actually lay eggs, I'm not looking at you, shadow elementals, is going to be extremely tough. There's only a few shadows, being the broodmother, turkeys, rock elementals, arthropluras, diplos, and gorillas. But to be fair, I've only seen 2 of those, and rarely. Day 77, I started on getting my 2 fairy tames, which as you can see, I decided on wyverns. They're actually pretty common on my server and easy to spot. I knocked this first one out, easy, and then within a few seconds had my first fairy dino. After it woke up, I potted it and began looking for a second one. I've seen 2 others on the map during my travels, so hopefully they're still alive. And sure enough, a short flight around the corner was a female, so I got started on that. With that out of the way, I now needed to find 2 shadow dinos, which is going to be tough like you heard me mention before. I wanted to head into a cave to see if shadow caterpillars spawn there, and chose the Redwoods cave as my candidate, like a freaking idiot. Unfortunately, I was taking damage over time with this being the gas cave, and yes, I had potions to stay alive. It was just annoying. Not to mention there was so many bugs that I just couldn't fight my way through the first part of it. Damn, this dragonfly's a high level! And called off the search by nightfall. Day 78, I started looking once again. I headed to the beaches where I flew along the shore looking for shadow turkeys, as that's where I've seen them before, but there was nothing in sight. I made my way to the swamp and heard a broodmother was nearby, so I flew a little bit lower to get a better look. What does that even mean, and why is it a thing? Shadow broodmother. Shadow broodmother! One dart. That has to be enough. It has to be. Let's go. It took exactly the amount of darts I had. 2 kibble later, the spider was mine. Now here's the thing. I remember passing through the swamps by my house, which is a different area, and hearing the broodmother sound, but at the time, I thought it was a reaper. So with this in mind, I headed home to re-up on tranqs. Excited as ever, I woke up early on day 79 and immediately started working on bullets for the darts. I got a lot coming my way, it just takes some time. So in the meantime, I went to go play with the new spider. And though its stats were mediocre, it was still a good time. After, I made what tranqs I could, and soon enough, I'd have a second glowing purple spider. Sure as genitals, this spider was exactly where I thought it was, and luckily it was a female, which is what I need. Shoot some lead, go to bed, knock it out with darts and meds. Dream, 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 dream. Midday on 80, I was still here living my best life, shooting darts at a prehistoric bus-sized spider so I could make it have sexy time with another like-sized spider. That way I could then use its unborn babies to make food to feed to dinos I actually wanted. We got there, baby! I returned with my broodmothers, and they immediately started producing eggs. The cherry on top for the day, though, was this. Make all of the eggs for demonic kibble. What? Day 81 began with a big metal farm because I was running low, and tranq dart crafting seems like a never-ending need. This ate up the day. I don't know what else to say. Me and Mursa headed home to get some rest for the days to come. Actually, just kidding. I returned home to this, which was upsetting. When did my dodos die? Day 82 was a big prep day. I used a lot of materials to mass craft more tranq darts, and while I did so, I finally built a roof for my base. Metal ceilings finished off with a moon roof should satisfy me enough to be done. This is what it looks like inside now, and I gotta say I'm loving it. For the remaining hours of the day, I tended to my beautiful garden. In the early hours of day 83, I spotted my first ever dodo reaper, and without a doubt, there's no way I can beat this mod by day 100. Each day that passes, I see a new, bigger and badder dino that makes me want to die. Anyways, now that I have legendary kibble, I need a legendary breeding pair to get one step closer to demonics. I found a female Indominus Rex close to the Reaper and started with that. After a quick and easy knockout and tame, I remembered that I saw up the riverbank that there was another Indom Rex, but I wasn't quite sure if it was a male or not. Sure enough, the Rex was still there, and it was a male. Just a lot higher of a level, so this took quite a while. And later that night, I finally knocked it out. Go to bed, go to bed, go to bed! Day 84, I got my endoms laid out to start producing eggs. Then I made it my mission for the rest of the day to get a mythic breeding pair which would finally complete my chain of tiered dinos for the rest of the game. I began this search which would prove to be a lot more difficult than I intended, but I was going for mythic trikes since they seem to be the most common. After a long while and flying around all day, I found a second mythic trike, and you know what comes next. Oh, let's go! It's only 200,000 torpor. I don't think you guys realize how excited I am to get a demonic within the next, like, what, day and a half, 2 days? Day 85, I watched as eggs rained from the asses of my new friends, and I sat and watched with a smile on my face. For some reason, I thought this was it. I'm finally gonna get a demonic, because things are just this smooth for me right now, right? Wrong. The requirement I wasn't aware of was primal bones were needed to craft demonic kibble. So I gotta kill one of those skeleton dinos, which I watched murder a demonic early on. So I gathered my Rex team and left to find a resurrected Jack Skellington dino. Up the way, I found a low-leveled one, and now we pray. All together now.
Fight!
Go get him, boys. Get him, boys, get him! Come on, baby! Oh my gosh, that thing's strong. My Rexes are weak, my Rexes are half health. Let's go! You guys are so strong. You guys are so strong. Once completed, I checked my Rex's inventory, and sure enough, primal bones were in it. Later that night, I headed to the first demonic I saw and tried knocking him out, but that's what's funny. You can't knock them out with tranqs. Apparently, you need a demonic rocket launcher, I think, which needs primal polymer and electronics, which I only got 5 from killing that trike, so I need to kill another. Day 86, the first thing I did was craft legendary right armor, which is supposed to be the best in the game. It has super high damage resistance and gives 1200 HP, so just to be safe, I'll have this equipped fighting the next trike. I crafted an Indom Rex saddle as I was going to be riding it for the fight for extra damage output. I got everything situated, and I brought my team to a field where I saw another resurrected trike and got ready to fight again. For some odd reason, I got killed off the back of my Indom Rex and still don't know why. But this is when the bug happened of me losing my entire inventory. There wasn't a reason for it, it was just gone. I headed back after reviving and watched as my Indom died, as there was nothing I could do since he was already low on health. No, Xenagos! Day 87, I spent all day looking for my death bag, which didn't exist to begin with. I was really upset about this because, bug or not, I had my entire team of rare dinos in the lost inventory along with all of my kibble and potions. It would be different if an in-game mechanic caused this to happen, but it wasn't. After searching most of the day, I headed home to rebuild because at this point, I still didn't know it was a bug. Day 88, after spending almost a full day recrafting everything and getting all set, I headed out to retame a breeding pair for fairies and shadows because I need to make a new legendary team if I want to kill this trike. I got 2 scorpions hoping they passively laid eggs. I found out later they didn't. And that's when Mr. Chaos, the creator of Primal Chaos, reached back out to me and said this. I said, ain't no way I died to a primal resurrected trike and it ate all my stuff like an ichthy. This isn't a thing, right? I just read a bug report from a while ago that mentions the disappearance of a bag. Though, if your bag actually disappeared, even if not caused by the mod, it would be an unintended there we go, bug. It would be fair to get it back if possible. Day 89, I gave myself everything I lost because of the conclusion we came to, except the Indom Rex because he died fairly in battle. That's when I came up with an idea. A brilliant idea. I fed some XP potions to my shadow broodmother because I was going to attempt to solo the Skeletor trike from a distance. I hope this works. There we go, there we go. Okay, I just gotta do a couple of right clicks because your boy just did 2 million damage. As you can see, the Battle of Revenge went into day 90, with the trike only being at half health, but it doesn't matter. If I keep this up, I'll eventually kill it. What are you gonna do about it, man? What are you gonna do? This is what you get for killing me and taking all my stuff for some reason. Gosh, that does so much damage. We're almost there, baby. 2 million left. Oh God, no, please. Get away, get away. Die! Die! Go down! Let's go! Oh my gosh, we did it! And after a long and treacherous fight, I killed it by midday. With my victory getting my hopes high, I immediately went home to craft this demonic rocket launcher, and after I craft a few more rockets, I'll be ready to go. I've spent 90 days working up to get this rocket launcher, putting all of my faith in the fact that this might be the way to knock out demonics. And I promise you all, that I won't return home until I've gotten one. Day 91, the search for demonics continued. I really wanted a Dilo pair to make my final army because from what I can see, they're damn near unbeatable. It's already been a few hours and I'm still on the search with no end in sight. The hardest part is I only have 9 days to get an army going. Later, I came across a demonic thorny dragon at a terrible level, but I wanted to test these rockets to see if I was correct. Oh, there we go! Wow! 1 rocket was enough to knock this guy out, and with only 1 kibble, he was mine. In the evening, I finally learned how you're supposed to beat the game, and boy was I in for a treat. You have to first beat 7 nightmare bosses to get their tributes before combining them all for a final fight with the Death Knight, and again, we only have 9 days. Day 92, before going back out on a Dilo search, I played around with my thorny dragon to see what demonics were all about. He did 50,000 damage per bite, and his firebomb did some massive damage as well. For the most part, 1 tail bomb one-shot anything in my path, but I couldn't see the true power of this attack until later. With determination and a lot of patience, I came across a demonic Dilo next to a river and a high level 2. I equipped my handy-dandy rocket launcher and started blowing up the thing that blows things up. Strange how this all works, isn't it? The back and forth explosions carried on, and I shot my final rocket to finally take the bad boy down. This was definitely a cool way to knock out a dino. With 1 Dilo down, I was feeling the pressure, but I was also excited to get things going, so I searched through the night. Day 93, I took a break and went home to use an XP potion on my new Dilo buddy, and I'm pretty sure that 50 million health plus a saddle should keep us alive against almost anything. I'm feeling stronger than ever, so let's go get another. And while I had my moment of strength, for once in this mod, I wanted to kill more stuff, including this resurrected skeleton raptor. Okay, I promise I'm done. Let's go find another Dilo. I rolled out later because I had to make a few more rockets, but we will get there soon. I can feel it. Day 94, after a full night of searching, I came across a high-level male, which, if all goes well, will give me the ultimate breeding pair. By now, you know. Blast rockets at the demon boy. Somehow he gets sleepy from getting face-slapped by rockets, and after a long while, he takes a nap. My beautiful son arose from his nap time, and with the little time I have left, I booked it home to get started. After naming my two Dilos, Mama Demon and Dada Demon, I allowed them to mate, and my goal is to have 15 Dilos by day 97, leaving me with 3 days to fight bosses. Also, something very important that I found out was that while mounted on a demonic Dino, as you can see at the bottom right, you're protected from getting hurt or murdered off the back of it. So now I don't have to worry about that, which is really nice. Day 95, I had 3 babies raising, which for some reason demonics mature really fast, so it all kind of works out perfectly with my time crunch. As you know, XP potions are a thing, so luckily I'm saving a lot of time leveling by using these rather than going on killing sprees. I got each Dilo to a minimum of 50 million health and about 8,000 melee, give or take, which after testing should do just fine. By day's end, I had 7 Dilos because demonic Dilos are like jackrabbits when it comes to sexy time, and I swear they're pooping eggs out faster than I ever imagined. I also made sure to name each and every Dilo as I love them all equally, and I can't imagine life without them now. It was day 96, and I now have 13 total Dilos, including the parents, so I need 4 more by the end of the day to have a complete team for bosses. And I also want backup breeders that I'll leave behind at the base just in case my whole team gets wiped. Since this was a waiting game, I wanted to utilize my time by bringing my mom Dilo out on a little demonic killing run to see if the protection really worked. And here's how that went. Wait, did I just kill it? Okay, we're fine. There we go. I murdered that thing quick, and I barely took damage myself. So yes, the protection works, and yes, I'm a literal god now. I went straight for another, and at this point, I can confidently say that I'm worried with as many Dilos as I'll bring into the boss fight that I will crash the living piss out of my game. By the end of the day, I returned home to the final bit of Dilos that I needed to complete my goals. Now they just have to raise overnights, and tomorrow we'll take on some of the mod's hardest challenges. But for now, good night, my fellow survivors. Day 97. I brought my 2 spawners with me to an open field to begin my very first boss fight of the entire playthrough. I threw out all of my Dilos and readied myself for something I wasn't quite sure I was ready for. But we're 3 days away from the completion of this video, so it's now or never. It's time to summon the boss. Go! Oh my god! Okay, wow, he does a lot. He does a lot. He's actually hitting them. This is bad. This is bad. Some of my Dilos might actually die here. Oh boy, we just gotta do our best. He's doing a lot of damage to them. Yeah, some of them are almost dead. Some of them are almost dead, but I can't. We gotta do this. Please don't die. Stay alive. Stay alive for me. No, why is he on me? We got this. We got this. We got this. Yes! No deaths, but man, I think we got close on some of them. I'm definitely stronger than ever, but the real test comes next. It's time to summon something that can actually damage my team. This fight gave me the confidence to continue on with the boss chain and go craft the last 5 summoners, and I did exactly that. Day 98, I made the worst possible decision of my life, and you get to witness it firsthand. Should I do hardest first? Just get it out of the way? Let's do it, baby. Oh my god, that thing is... What? This is not good, guys. She doesn't take a lot of damage for some reason. I think I screwed up. I think I screwed up. That's so upset. Dada, Demon, no, go, Ryu, Yoshi, Tia, they're all dying. I think I just run away. Do my best, at least. If I go into the trees, I think I can get away. This was a terrible idea. I can't get away. Oh, my goodness, man. Reaper can't come in here. After my team was wiped off the face of the planet by the Reaper, I ran for my little life until I finally got away And with that, I was really upset. I worked hard to get here and I didn't want the playthrough to finish off this way, so I'm gonna do something really risky. This fight was only me versus a Nightmare Carno, which I only did about 100 million damage per 5 minutes and he had 484 million health. It was a struggle, but potions kept me alive throughout. Day 99, the tail end of the fight approached, with my fire dealing massive damage and the Carno soon fell with me leaving victorious. I killed a freaking boss with my solo Dilo and some potions. After the fight subsided, I was debating ending things there, but I still wasn't satisfied. At this point, I'm power hungry, so I gave myself a pep talk and decided to do one final fight that would determine everything. This has been one hell of a playthrough. Gotta say, probably the hardest thing I've ever done. Here we go. It's you and me, Rex.
You're going down, big boy.
You're going down. I can't see. I can't see. No, I can't see. The sunset in the background, blood and fire, sweat and tears, baby. This is what it's all about. This right here is not what it's about. I cannot see. Gosh, that's scary. What day is it? It's 100! We're on day 100! No, no, no. My roar is better, baby. My roar is better! Oh, we got there! It was finally day 100, and I gotta say, we finished this off damn good. We freaking got there. Nothing, and I mean nothing, stands in my way of victory. Friends, we did it! Somewhat. I didn't beat the final boss because I was nowhere near ready, and I'm not sure I'd even be ready after 200 days. But nonetheless, we played 100 days of Primal Chaos and lived to tell the tale. Thank you so much for watching my crazy journey. And until next time, I love you all.
Oh yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.